So today at about 2:30, there were a number of deputies who had just left briefing that were driving out of the station parking lot. So to explain it correctly, on the west side of the property, on the west side of the sheriff's station here at Santa Clarita, there is an employee-only, law enforcement-only parking lot where our radio cars are kept, where deputies come in to book prisoners, to begin their shifts and end their shifts, and that is the secure parking lot that the deputies were driving northbound through to go out into the field to start their work days, when suddenly a man appeared who was walking on foot. He had a handgun in his hand. The deputies stopped their cars. They got out of their cars. They attempted to detain the man at gunpoint, ordered him numerous times to drop the firearm. The suspect apparently refused. At some point, a deputy-involved shooting occurred. One deputy fired 2 rounds, striking the suspect, who was transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. He appears to be in his 37, 38 years old. We don't have an exact identification yet. We're waiting on the coroner on that. We do believe we know who he is. We believe he's somebody local, but absent identification from the coroner, we're not going to be able to release that information.
Did he make any threats?
We have not had a chance yet to interview the deputies. All we have is a safety statement that was made to a supervisor at the scene that he was carrying a gun, he wouldn't drop the gun, and a deputy-involved shooting occurred. Again, we haven't spoken to the particular deputies. That takes a while for us to get to that. As soon as we do, we'll put that information out, whatever we can in this case. But for now, all I know is he had a gun. There's a gun at the scene, and he was transported. He has identification on him, all right? But it's not up to us to compare his identification to him. That's the coroner's job. And when the coroner comes in and the coroner makes a positive identification, then we can say for certain that it is in fact this person that we believe it is. No, he is from the person we believe it may be. He's a minimal criminal history. He lives somewhere locally out here, if it's who we think it is. And we have units at a house right now, but I'm not going to go into that. Well, it's an open vehicle gate for radio cars to drive in and out of. There is a car in our parking lot that doesn't look like it belongs. That may be the car that the suspect was able to drive into the gate or through the gate into the parking lot. We have not confirmed that yet either. The question was, anybody hurt? And the answer is, other than the suspect, nobody was injured. After the initial shooting, there were a lot of deputies still at the station for briefing. They checked the area very thoroughly to ensure that this may not be some type of ambush. There may be an accomplice who had a position of high ground. So they did a very thorough search of the area and were able to determine that there's nobody else involved who was here at the time we checked. But that's all very early in this investigation. Yes, sir. If you're not aware, this is a busy civic center. It has a public library. It has some county health offices here. Because we can't be certain where the suspect walked in through, if he drove the vehicle that's in the station parking lot, or if there's another car that's parked out here that may belong to him, we're containing this entire area as a crime scene. We have got all the information from the people that were in the library and the various offices in the civic center at the time, and they are not being detained. We have got all their information, and we will call them when they're free to come pick up their car. So that's what they're just waiting around for.
Is this a voting center as well?